Hey friends, Lissa here for another video. In today's video, I just wanted to share how I roll my little nori burrito rolls. So let's get to that. I have a bunch of vegetables out and ready to go. So as you can see, I've got some sprouts, green onions, lettuce, and tomatoes, and this delicious dip. I start out by using some coconut aminos and painting my nori sheet. The reason why I do this is so that the nori sheet softens a lot, so that it's a lot easier to roll. I don't like rolling crispy nori sheets because it breaks, it rips, and this makes it a lot easier. Then I will add some lettuce, some green onions, some sprouts, and some tomatoes. You can add whatever you desire to these nori rolls. You could put cucumber, bell peppers, avocado, whatever you want in there. And as a side note, you also don't need to use coconut aminos for this. I like to use coconut aminos because it adds a little bit of flavor. I like to paint the ends to get them a little bit more softened. I roll them in. You could use water instead if you don't want to use coconut aminos. I roll them in, and then I also wet the end again and finish rolling. Because the nori roll is nice and wet, it will stick a lot easier. Give it a few minutes and then slice it in half. If you want, you don't have to slice them in half. You could just eat them like whole, like a spring roll kind of. And here we have our first roll. Moving on to the next roll, get that nori paper wet. And fill it with all your ingredients. Now sometimes I get a little overexcited and I stuff these way too much, but always make sure that you have enough room to be able to roll them properly. I like to bend the ends in. This makes it a lot easier to eat because then things aren't dripping out the side and falling apart. But the trick is to wet that corner once you get to the end. Again, with coconut aminos or just plain water. Seal it, and then I like to lay it on top of that spot just to get it to stick a little bit better. And then cut or don't cut. We've got some delicious rolls happening right here. And that's how I do my little nori burrito rolls. If you guys like this video, please click like. You can find the dip for this in my dips and dressings book. It's the jalapeno tahini. You can also find a recipe video for it on my YouTube channel as well. It's basically just a couple tablespoons of tahini, some garlic, about 4 to 6 dates, depending on how much you want to make, jalapeno, some ginger, some smoked paprika, and some chili powder. But you can play around with the recipe if you want. You can also find plenty of recipes at my e-store here at payhip.com/rawfoodromance. You can collect any of my recipe ebooks over there. You can also find links in the description below to get the print versions off Amazon. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at rawfoodromance, on Facebook, Lissa's Raw Food Romance, and on Snapchat, I am Lissa Raw Vegan. Until the next video, guys, love you all, and fruit on.